Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic, we're gonna go into a little deep dive of just being a human being. That's what we all are, right? I know some of us might pretend we're a fish or a dinosaur or like whatever the fuck that is. But what we're gonna work on right now is a topic that we would like to call um I'm gonna do it so I can kind of like edit it. Sacrifice. Today's topic is sacrifice. Like not that you think like Jesus on the cross or anything like that, but more of like our everyday life. When it comes down to it, like if you think about it, like every decision you make in life just involves sacrifice. Whether it's getting up at 8 o'clock or 8:15, like setting a specific alarm. Whether you take a hot shower or a cold shower, or you put on your left shoe before your right, or vice versa. Um, Everything's sacrifice, right? Just every part of your life. Um, but the thing, like, I think as you get older and you realize sacrifice is just, it's always going to be there. It's just at certain points in your life, it's more important. Or it's like, how would you explain it? More kind of like checkpoints of sacrifice for you. Like, once you go into, I kind of explain it like you're going to college. Are you gonna go to this college, that college? Well, if you go to this one that's close to home, like what are you sacrificing? Like like as you're staying closer to home, less travel time, still get to see your friends, your loved ones, girlfriend, all that jazz. But maybe you're not gonna have maybe they have a less rated program to what you're looking to go into, something like that. Whereas if you go to a farther school, like out of state, you're gonna sacrifice, not being home, missing friends and family and stuff like that. But then you're gonna meet new people. You're gonna have those better classes. You're gonna have better opportunity, possibly. Things like that. Um, that's like one of the most common sacrifice I can think of. But um, really, what it comes down to is once you understand what the sacrifice is just you want to, weigh out the pros and cons, and like you're gonna have to understand like no matter what, like there's gonna be a shitty part of it that's just gonna happen, like there's gonna be a part where you don't want to really do it. Like if you want to choose this job over, you get to move out of state to do this job, or um one of your friends is like doesn't like the other person, well you have to either choose to be on their side or you know not fuck with that friend anymore. Just kind of examples like that. um but really what the point I'm trying to get at is like you need to understand that sacrifice, it's a huge part of functioning for you, if that makes sense. Without sacrifice, without sacrifice, there's not really struggle. And I think struggle's a beautiful thing, and that some people might hear that and they go, no, 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 you're miserable, you're miserable. Yeah. But I mean, when you really think about it, like, it's just a really important thing to have in our human nature. And just like the first part's accepting it because it's always going to be there, And but so like if you can like embrace it and like push through it, it's like not it's not gonna make it like easier as in like per se, but you know, you can get more comfortable with it and you can make better sacrifices. Cause like let's say you have to wake up every day, like every day you have to wipe your ass. This is a bad analogy, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because I like being silly. Like you have to wipe your ass every day, right? You can either do a good job of it or you can do a bad job. Like no matter what, you're gonna have to do it. So like you might as well do a good job, right? So you don't have fucking crusties all up in your mushlings and shit like that. So like the point of sacrifices is you're gonna have to do it no matter what. Well, why don't you like be the best you can fucking be at it and do good? And that's the thing. Like it's like I said, it's always gonna be there. But if you can do really good at like figuring out what's the best sacrifice for you, and then that could be the best decision for you. Like the sacrifice is stay at your job now or go a better one, but it's somewhere new and that you're not experienced with. Like you go and do that better one, then your life turns out better. You can make more money if that's a goal you have. If you want to travel more, then that's a goal you have. You hit that, you know. If you meet the love of your life, then think like that sacrifice led to you like your happiness truly, and like that's what you can. I guess that's what you should like aspire to like have push that towards is use that sacrifice to ultimately like better yourself. Um, realistically, because I'm only 21, but yeah, like I said, everyone's going through sacrifices. Like me, like moving out on my own, like that was a sacrifice. You know, like you're gonna have to start budgeting your money. You're gonna have to, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta do your own laundry. You gotta buy your own shit. You gotta do this. You know, it's whole new responsibilities. But then it's the plus side. You get like more freedom, stuff like that. You know, and that's just something. But I think something great that's happened to me within the last year or so is that it's just like things have become more self actualization for me and just kind of like opening my eyes, my heart, my ears, spirit, everything, and just kind of like breaking down things, kind of just observing and not right away, you might have like you have opinion on something and you're like, oh, that's stupid, or why do I have to do this? But you sit there and analyze it, especially if you hear it too, if you watch it, like you can hear, like that's a great thing. If like you hear someone else like on a podcast or you're talking to your roommates or your buddies or friends, like they have different perspectives. And like you may not agree with some, but like the point is it's different. And different is good. That's like why as humans like we communicate. That's why like we're not supposed to be lonely. We're not supposed to, be out, seclusion. Like people will like a good day to like kind of relax and be themselves, or if they're having a rough day, kind of chilled out. Yeah, you want to be by yourself, but like at the same time, like we are born for contact, like human contact, and like not like contact physically. I'm just saying like emotionally, spiritually, stuff like that. That's like what we strive for. And I mean, like all the greatest things in life, like discovering science and stuff, like no one's like figured out just by themselves, you know? Um, like it involves groups, it involves like seeing past history written and discussing and point of views and stuff like that. I'm getting off topic here, but like the whole point is like for sacrifice, um, well, I'll let my brain connect the two for a second. The whole point of sacrificing is to better yourself as a human, because just like millions of years ago, well, like people who created fire, like they see like they created fire or however the fuck it happened. You think, oh, this is scary. I could either put this out and just try to never deal with it again, or I could embrace it, learn it, and look at that. Like we fucking have taxes now, just like that. Um, you know, but really, sacrifice, that's something not, I don't know, you can be scared of it for sure. Like there's things to be scared of in life, and it's like if you want to stick up for yourself, like talking to your boss or something, be like, yeah, you could sacrifice by saying something, but like feeling better getting it off your chest than not saying it at all. Like that's the stuff you have to weigh out. It's just an example. But like I said, it's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there. Like for certain decisions, ideas, problems, just things in life that you have to deal with, it's going to be there. But like, well, why for everything else? Like you want to dominate your health, you want to dominate your mind, you want to dominate your spirit, you want to dominate um being good at video games. I don't know, just listing off stuff. Like why not be the best at like intangibles of life too, for even stuff that sucks. Like why not? Like our whole point of being here, breathing, is to learn. And you can learn to experience all that great stuff and go forth from there. Like believe in yourself. Sacrifice is a great thing to have. and like you're gonna get stressed no matter what. Like like my car's like tire like basically broke off. Like I gotta get new parts, and I'm stressing like, oh, what if I have a I gotta cancel this doctor's appointment, or like what if the parts are late and I can't go in Friday? It's like, okay, well, what can I do? How can I adjust this? Like now I have to like save in case the car goes out again. Like there's a sacrifice you have to make, but like I know like maybe like this will lead me to saving up for a new car, and that'll be better off for me, or stuff like that. Like in the end of it, it just comes down to you being rationalizing what's the best option for you and just pushing through from there. And I think a big part is like not looking back once you make that sacrifice too. And that's kind of like where regret comes in. Like, oh man, I really should have tried in high school. I could have been a pro football player. Like maybe you could have, yeah, but who knows? Like if something else would have happened. Like you go down that path. What if something happens to where you still can't play? Like something like that. Like you should never. I mean, they're gonna have regrets of some stuff of like what you do, how you act, but it shouldn't be so much as like don't hold the negative connotation to yourself of like the act of regretting, if that makes sense. You can be regretful, but don't like fully regret something, because like I believe in making mistakes, but there's a reason we make mistakes. It's because we're human. Like we're gonna make mistakes, but the whole point is to learn from that. And trust me, there's a lot of stuff in the world you could kind of point to that and be like, whoa, 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 like that's not, like there's a lot of bad shit. Like you're saying they shouldn't regret that. That's not what I'm saying. It's like just as a retrospective idea, just think of regretting as like just a stepping stone for you in just learning in like who you are, like how you act, how you respond to things, and so forth. Just that's kind of my spiel about it. Just like basically, if I had to mull it down to one point, be appreciative of the sacrifice, and know your worth. And like I said, it's not going anywhere, but like you can adapt to it and you can make the best out of it, because like that's where success comes from, is making like Elon Musk sacrificing only sleeping 2 hours a day for 40 years to become a multi-billionaire and change the world, or scientists or athletes going sacrificing a social life or a passion of stuff to like be a professional athlete or a musician. Like that's the stuff like we see and like successful people, and you're like, well, I want to get there. Well, like you got to understand also like there's going to be big sacrifices that come to that. Like if you want to be like a bodybuilder, you got to make sacrifices of eating healthy, like consistently, working out consistently, going out with their friends. Like they might not, they might make fun of what you're doing, or like, you got to stick to your morals and stick with the sacrifice if you want to see success. Because like overall, what's good for you, or you're learning to do that. You'll learn what's best for you, whether you make the wrong sacrifice or the right one. So it's your job to experience that and figure that out for you. And that's pretty much it. I anyone who watches this, like I hope, like this isn't, I'm not like a scientist, like I'm not a professional podcaster to where like I understand what I'm saying, or I can recite people, and just break down and analyze what they're saying. But I just want to think, but I also want to like spread information and kind of just put it out there. So if anyone wants to watch or react, that's I'd love that. That's my genuine passion to do this right now. It's just to kind of spread information, for I'd want to talk to it. It's like you can talk to your friends about stuff like this, have those deep talks and everything, but maybe they don't want to hear it. But like this is for if you people do want to hear it. I'm like I'll post it for you. Just leave it here. Just like if this, I want this to be generic. I don't want this to be authentic. I don't want it to be me putting on a facade of like telling you some propaganda stuff. It's just me, explaining my feelings and my like aspect of things. So hopefully, if this reaches out, hopefully, so people can react to it and it hits you a certain way to where it makes you think. As long as it makes you think a certain thing, whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, or a bad or negative response to me, That's fine because they're just gonna happen in life regardless. Um, but hopefully, if you come across this, it kind of makes you think of like how sacrifice should be looked at or realistically, should be handled, and go forth from there. But yeah, um, that's pretty much my spiel for it, and I'm sure I'll make more of these, but stay tuned, I guess. But yep, peace.